Nimbarka Sampradaya. Sri Nimbarka Sampradaya is the first of the Vedantic Vaishnava traditions. Vaishnavism is a religion within Hindu culture which occurs simultaneously with Sanatana Vaidika Dharma. The main focus is Lord Krishna, who is acknowledged throughout the Vedic literature as the Supreme Lord. Within Vaishnavism, there are only 4 bona fide Vaishnava schools. Later schools claim authenticity by claiming to be offshoots of these 4. Nimbarka Sampradaya is first, followed by 11th century CE Ramanuja Sampradaya. Sri Sampradaya, 13th century CE Madhva Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, and 16th century CE Pushti Marg, Vallabha Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya. Sri Hamsa Bhagavan, Sri Radha Krishna Bhagavan incarnates to start off the teachings of this Sampradaya. In the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma's sons, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana and Sanat Kumara, the 4 mind-born eldest sons of Brahma, ask him a question pertaining to Sri Krishna. Unable to answer it, Lord Brahma meditates on the Lord, and the gracious Lord incarnates as Sri Hansa Bhagavan, the swan incarnation of Sri Radha Krishna. Sri Sanakadi Bhagavan, Sanat, Sanandan, Sanatana and Sanat Kumar Bhagavan. The 4 mind-born sons of Brahma were created at the very beginning of creation by Brahmaji, one for each direction. His orders were to go and procreate. However, these beings were enlightened and instead took a vow to remain 5-year-old celibate brahmacharins and devoted themselves to the Lord. Brahmaji was annoyed at first, but afterwards he cooled down. When they asked him a question regarding Sri Radha Krishna in the form of the all-pervading Supersoul, Brahma could not reply. Hamsa Bhagavan incarnated and taught the great sages about the glories of Sri Radha Krishna, the Nitya Leela, eternal pastimes. He initiated them into Vaishnavism and gave them the all-supreme Sri Gopal Mantra Raja and the Sharanagati Mantra. He also gave them the Sri Sri Radha Sarveshwara Shaligram Shila Bhagavan to worship and serve. Sri Sanakadi Bhagavan then practiced many austerities and had darshana of the Supreme Lord Sri Sri Radha Sarveshwara through their worship of the Lord in this form. They compose a treatise on worship of the Lord in the feeling of a humble gopi known as the Sanat Kumar Sanhita. They have attained entry into the Nitya Leela and serve as Sakhis of the Lord. Devarshi Sri Narada Muni Bhagavan. Sri Narada Muni was the younger brother of the quadruplets Sri Sanakadi Bhagavan. When he saw that they were supremely blissful, he realized they had attained enlightenment, para bhakti. He requested them to become his guru and they assented. Sri Sanakadi Bhagavan initiated Sri Narada Bhagavan. They passed on Sri Sarveshwara Bhagavan, the original Shaligram Shila, to Narada Muni for him to serve and worship. They also instructed him about the worship of the Lord from the feelings of a gopi, and also about Vedanta as they had themselves learned from Sri Hansa Bhagavan. Swabhavika Dvaita Dvaita. Simultaneous unity in diversity is the correct means by which all of the Vedic literature can be understood, and they imparted this to Narada Bhagavan. They also initiated him into the highest mantra, the Sri Gopala mantra as well as the Sharanagati mantra. From then, Sri Narada Bhagavan became completely devoted and wanders around the world spreading the glories of Sri Radha Sarveshwara Bhagavan through kirtan and teachings. He also attained entry into the Nitya Leela. Jagadguru Adya Sri Nimbakacharya Bhagavan. At the very beginning of time, Sri Radha Krishna expanded into 4 emanations called Vyuhas. Of them, Sri Aniruddha later became the Sudarshana Chakra, the discus weapon of Sri Krishna. He always saved devotees from calamities and cut away their ignorance so they could experience devotion to the Lord. One day, he requested the Lord that he too could experience devotion. Sri Radhakrishna blessed him and told him to spread the devotion of the Lord to those who had lost their way. He incarnated on the earth on Kartik Purnima, 3096 BCE. He was born to Aruna Rishi and Jayanti Mata in Aruna Ashram, Vadurya Pattanam, Maharashtra, India. He was known as Aruni, Niyamananda and Havirdhana. Within a short period of time, he mastered all the scriptures and set off with his parents at the age of 12 to Govardhan to have darshan of the Lord. On the way, he visited Dwarka Dham, where he established the branding of the Shankha and Chakra, and also to Jagannatha Puri in Orissa, where much later on the great 12th century CE poet Sri Jayadeva Kavi would spread his teachings. When he reached Govardhana, he chose a place in between Barsana Dham and Sri Govardhana called Nimba Grama. In the forest of neem trees he built his ashram, and there practiced austerities by simply drinking only a mouthful of neem juice every day. Seeing his austerity, Brahma came on the scene in the guise of a sannyasi who would only eat during the daytime. After being engaged in discussions for some time, Niyamananda realized he had not offered his guest any food, and already the sun had set. When brought food, the sannyasi said that time had passed, but Niyamananda manifested the Sudarshan Chakra between the neem trees and said that the sun had not yet set. Seeing this wonder, the sannyasi revealed himself as Brahma and blessed Niyamananda, saying that from today, you shall be world famous as Nimbarka, the one who produced the sun between the neem trees. You shall spread the devotion of the Lord across the world. Narada Muni happened to visit the brilliant Nimbarka during his austerities. He initiated Nimbarka into the Sri Gopala mantra and Sharana Gati mantra, taught him about Swabhavika Dvatadvaita Vedanta and gave him the Sri Radha Sarveshwara Shaligram Bhagavan. After some more secret instructions, Sri Narada Muni gave him the name Sri Haripriyacharya and left his new disciple to carry on austerities. Sri Narada Muni passes on the Sri Radha Sarveshwar Shalagrama Shila Bhagavan to Sri Nimbakacharya for him to serve and worship. After this, he began to worship the Lord as Sri Radha Sarveshwara, Sri Radha Krishna, and the Lord gave him darshana. From that time, he preached devotion to Sri Radha Krishna, the importance of worshipping in the humble mood of a devotee gopi and the correct understanding of scripture through Swabhavika Dvaitadvaita Siddhanta. He purified many Buddhists and Jains who realized they had left their Sanatana Dharma wrongly, and gained much respect in Vrindavan and Vraja Mandala at large. He had four main disciples: Sri Gauramukhacharya, Sri Audumbaracharya, Sri Lakshmana Bhatta and Sri Srinivasa Bhagavan. Bhagavan Sri Nimbakacharya is mentioned at the end of the sutras written by his own guru, Sri Narada Muni. In these sutras, known as the Narada Bhakti Sutras, Sri Narada Muni says that Sri Aruneya, the son of Aruna Rishi, Sri Nimbarka, is one of the foremost acharyas regarding devotion, on a par to Sri Hanuman Ji and Sri Garuda Ji. Sri Nimbarka Bhagavan wrote many commentaries. The Vedanta Parijata Saurabha was written as a simple elucidation of the Dvat-Advaita Siddhanta of Vedanta. He also wrote a condensed Vedanta Kamadhenu Dashashloki which covers all the subject matter of Vedanta in 10 simple stanzas for the devotees. He wrote the Rahasya Mimamsa on ritual, of which the Prapanna Kalpavalli and the mantra Rahasya Shodashi are the only surviving parts of it. They deal with the greatness of the two mantras that were given to him by Narada Muni, the Sri Gopala mantra and the Sharana Gati mantra. Both of these mantras are given to disciples at the time of initiation into Asampraday. He wrote the Sri Radhashtakam and Pratasmarana Stotram as well as the Sri Krishnashtakam. These are all available today. His commentary on the Gita, on Manduka and Mandukya Upanishads along with the treatment of the Vishnu Purana are lost. Just to summarize, Sri Nimbarka Bhagavan is single-handedly responsible for teaching the worship of the divine couple Sri Radha Krishna to the world. He is the first to do so on the earth. No other teacher taught this doctrine on this earth before him. Followers of his teachings and those influenced by the beautiful ideals helped to proliferate the idea in poetry and other literature, such as Jaydev Kavi, who wrote the Gita Govinda based on these ideals, and it was itself adopted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Vallabhacharya into their theology. Sri Nimbarka Bhagavan, although being the incarnation of the Sudarshana Chakra and thus of Aniruddha Bhagavan, was not only pure Krishna Tattva. Shri Krishna's emanations are the Chaturvyuhas, and Srimati Radhika Devi's emanations are the Sikhis. Shri Rangadevi Sakhi is one of the 8 main Sikhis in the eternal Leela, and Nimbarka Bhagavan is a combined incarnation of Shri Aniruddha and Shri Rangadevi Sakhi. In other words, Shri Nimbarka Bhagavan is an incarnation of the complete and full Lord. Shri Nimbarka Bhagavan propagated Sakhi Bhava, Gopi Bhava, Madhurya Bhava Upasana. Bhakti is the highest form of devotion as per his Gurudev's instructions. There is no better example of devotion than that of the Vraja Gopis, and Shri Nimbarka says that for the highest devotion, one must resolve to thinking of pleasing the Lord as the divine couple whilst carrying out our daily duties. Devotion to one's Guru and to Sri Radha Krishna, thinking oneself to be serving the Lord at all times and behaving accordingly. Just like the Gopis, Japa and Kirtana is the main paths of devotion, and just being a nice, compassionate human being. These are the main, condensed teachings of Bhagavan Sri Nimbakacharya. Bhagavan Sri Srinivasacharya. Sri Srinivasacharya is the incarnation of the Panchajanya Shankha of Lord Sri Krishna. At first, Sri Srinivasa was a challenging Pandita who wanted to challenge Sri Nimbakacharya's doctrine, but once he saw the perfectness of the solution of Sri Nimbakacharya, he immediately submitted. And being the incarnation of the Shankha, he inwardly knew that this was none other than his own brother and fellow servant of the Lord. Having taken initiation from him, Sri Nimbakacharya Bhagavan instructed him to go to Radha Kunda in Govardhana to practice his devotional austerities. Sri Srinivasa asked for something which would please the Lord, and so Sri Nimbakacharya composed the Sri Radhashtakam. Although by worshipping either Sri Radha or Sri Krishna alone, one will worship both of them as they are inherent in each other, Sri Srinivasa wanted to help teach all other disciples. So Sri Srinivasa reminded him that we teach the worship of the conjoined, unified Lord as Sri Radha Krishna, and so Sri Nimbakacharya composed the Sri Krishnashtakam as well. Having gone to Sri Radha Kunda, he achieved the darshan and blessings of Sri Radha Sarveshwara and returned to his Guru Maharaj. Sri Nimbarka recognized that his disciple had achieved the darshana of the Lord and could see that he was now ready to take over. He handed him the deity of Sri Radha Sarveshwara Shaligram Bhagavan and anointed him as the next Jagadguru of our Sampraday. Before Sri Nimbarka Bhagavan re-entered the Vaikuntha Leela as Sudarshana Chakra and the Nitya Leela as Rangadevi Sakhi, Sri Nimbarka asked Srinivasacharya to expound on his very concise Brahma Sutra commentary so that it could be accessible to all. He completed this in the famous Vedanta Kaustubha, an in-depth analysis of Vedanta, proving that the only sensible way that one can interpret it is through Swabhavika Dvat Advaita Siddhanta. Indeed, he shows that this is the philosophy by which Sri Vedavyasa wrote his Brahma Sutras. Indeed, it is the philosophy of the Upanishads, Gita and Veda. He also composed a La Gustavaraja prayer of 42 verses dedicated to his guru, Sri Nimbarka Bhagavan.